Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you may not want to buy a Sire 7 series bass. But I'm also gonna give you 5 reasons why you might wanna buy one. You'll be the judge. Right here we have a V7 vintage Sire 2nd generation, and here this is my P7 1st generation, and right there, the real deal. Or is it really the real deal? Anyways, here we go, 5 and 5.
All right, so reason one I'm hearing very often is it's a knockoff. It's a Fender knockoff. Get the real deal. Well, it's not a knockoff. It's not a fake Gucci bag or something like that trying to trying to trick you into something. It's unapologetically if you will, imitation or inspiration from Fender. That's why it has a different headstock. And on that, now reason number 2, people say, I can't stand this weird paddle-shaped headstock. Well, if you're used to a Fender and you need that, Fender, violin kind of inspired thingy, then get a Fender. This is similar, but not the same thing. Reason number 3, they're not as well balanced as a Fender, heavier, and on stage they don't play as well. Well, they play very well, but they are not as well, especially the 5-strings, as well balanced as a 2019 Fender 5-string. This is more true on the 5-string than on the 4-strings, like shown here. I tested them both. It's a little bit more neck heavy. It tilts a little bit more, the 5-string. But that changes also which Fender bass you're looking at. I'm talking about a 2019 or something like that, an Elite or an American Pro. They're super well balanced, so your mileage might vary there. Number 4, it's cheap hardware, really cheap hardware, and the controls, the tuners are not good. The hardware is, first of all, the woods it uses American alder, so it's not like they have like the cheapest woods from Indonesia and so forth. The hardware in my book is pretty good. It's not exactly the same as Fender, but very usable. Made in Indonesia also. If you think only Americans can build good things in America for Americans, then okay, I see your point. I don't entirely agree with that. And number 5, they are just sold online. It's sort of like I can't get any service. Well, for that matter, there are several resellers, physical stores in the United States, and they do have customer support. Sure, you can't just waltz into any Guitar Center, which is like an authorized Fender service center, and have your bass service. But, if anything goes wrong, it's either a warranty issue, I'm sure you can work that out, or if you need a better setup, they charge for that anyways, you can use your guitar tech. So those are the 5 reasons. Let's now move on to the 5 reasons to buy it. All right, number 1, it's a Marcus Miller endorsed, not just endorsed bass, but he is really in on it in the development of these basses, and he would not put his name, so he says, on it without them being really, really good. And he plays them. It's a Marcus Miller bass. You see them on stages all the time. It's not his main bass. He didn't change that, but he brings them out quite often. He's playing his heart out on these basses, and that says something about it. All right, and then they look great. The quality there is number 2, by the way. So they look great quality, easy playable necks. So if you compare that with the American 5-hits counterpart, it's very similar. It's actually the neck's a tiny bit thinner, plays a little bit nicer. Depends on who you ask, looks just as good. I couldn't find any fault with that. So just the way they feel would probably be a good reason to buy them. Look at the necks. Okay, and the number 3 big reasons, the 18-volt electronics and pickups. It got those Marcus Miller J vintage pickups. The electronics have sweepable, so adjustable mid-range, so it's active and passive. Really good preamp system. You'd have to go to a Fender Ultra or Elite to get that. Other than that, number 4, it has all the basses have all the appointments. Rounded edges, block inlays, and graphite necks on the 5 strings, just like the Fender 5 strings, but on the 4 strings it doesn't have that. So there's a little difference here in the build quality or in the appointments, if you will. The website is full of options in terms of color, in terms of woods. It goes up to, with the 5 string, you're topping out at $850. It's still a great deal, and that pretty much mimics a $2,100 bass on the Fender side. And then number 5, and I think that goes back to the cons, the reasons why people wouldn't buy them. Nobody ever said, I won't buy them because they don't sound good or because they sound bad. So the 5th and most important reason why you would want to buy a Sire Bass is they sound great. Massivebeatzz out.